Hey, what's going on, guys? Just doing a quick short real quick. I did have a friend of mine ask me like the type of filtration I use, and like I said, there's all sorts of filtration. You have HOBs, which are like the hang on back filters, which are, you know, pretty basic stuff right here. So with that said, I mean, you have canister filters, you have wet dry systems. If you don't know what I'm talking about and I'm speaking Greek to you, then that's okay. This is for, like, I guess, more in-depth hobbyists. You have sponge filters, all these different things. I like to use a variety, a little bit of everything. So normally, if I have a breeding setup, I will use HOBs, and I will have a sponge filter or something on the downspout so I don't have fry sucked up. Right now I have the lights off in here because I have fry in here in this community tank, but that's what I'm talking about down there. These are all the little babies for the polar blue parrot and the platinum ice down there. The platinum ice broods way back there, but essentially I want to have good circulation, so I'll use something like this, or I always have a sponge filter to accumulate good enough bio, and it allows a lot more oxygenation in the water. Normally I'll run like a few HOBs. I used to do really like a lot of canister filter stuff, but I mean, yeah, you don't have to change water or clean a filter every now and then because it's a canister filter, but it's just, they're costly. They do work very well, and I'm probably gonna be transitioning to something custom around that nature, or a wet dry filter or a canister filter, just because of time consumption. But if you ever want to, I guess, make sure your HOB is working properly, or spot check it, see what I did there. A great way to do that is if you take your cover off here. So most of your HOBs are going to just have a cover or something. First things first is, if it's not flowing, obviously unplug it, because you don't want to get electrocuted, and yes, that can happen. I've seen it before. And then your downspout, or your spigot here, if you look right here, some have a flow adjuster, so you can adjust your flow. Some don't, but essentially what's happening is you have an impeller way down here in the housing, and it's pulling water up through here, obviously going through your media. Now I use a variety of different media, just because I find it to be the most useful depending on what I'm trying to do. Right now I use a lot of this filter floss. It's really great. It's made by Flue Valve, or you can go with Aqueon. They have some really good material. But I'll normally go in here, I'll make sure my bio cartridges, or again, there's many different terminologies, but this is what's going to house all your beneficial bacteria, and that's very crucial. Don't ever wash these. And another thing I tell hobbyists is, if you're doing a water change, whether it's 25%, 100%, or whatever, for whatever reason, you know, don't ever clean every single panel of your aquarium. Never clean all the sides of your tank. So for like here, like if I have a glass cleaner, which I'll use this guy right here. So it works very well. But a lot of people don't realize that if I clean every single panel here, and you can kind of see there's a little bit of beneficial bacteria growing on this glass. So if I clean the front, cool. I'm never going to clean the back. It's a little more of a hassle because I have all that stuff back there, right? But I might clean the front and maybe like one side. And the reason for that is there's beneficial bacteria growing everywhere in your tank. And if I just go and scrape it all off the glass, I could have an imbalance. And then there's not the right amount of nitrates and nitrite transition ratio. And so you have food, fish waste, and the beneficial bacteria feeds on that. And that's what keeps your tank really healthy. And so if I take away a lot of it, which a lot of it grows on your glass, your aquarium decor, all your stuff, all your decorations, all your gravel, it's all in there. But the biggest place for it is right here. So you don't want to clean that. And so if I have a HOB that's not working, I'll unplug it, I'll pull this out, and I'll do a little bit more in-depth video. But you're going to pull this out, and you're going to check your impeller. there's a spindle on there, and what's happening is it's magnetized, so that's how the impeller is operating. But a lot of times on that metal spindle where the impeller blades and fins are, you can get debris, you can get snails. Trumpet snails are notorious for going in there. You can get little hair particles from filter floss or other things in there that will make that impeller not work. Sometimes, very rarely, is if you don't have proper water level and let's say that motor burns out, I mean, you're gonna have to get a new filter. And the way you'll know if the motor's burned out is if the impeller checks out, everything checks out, you plug it in, and never start an HOB dry. And what I mean by that is, okay, I go to the fish store, let me buy a new filter, let me put it on my tank, put in the cartridges, set it all up, put it together, and plug it in. Yes, the impeller is capable of pulling the water from here into there, but it's not really going to be capable to start it. And you could burn that motor out, that pump. So I always put water in my filter in the back and then plug it in for an easy startup, but that's just me. So we'll probably go like a little more in depth, and like I'll actually take apart a filter, go into filter assembly, things of that nature.